Hey guys, welcome back to Just CARVEROB. How you doing? Alright, finger's doing well, it's healing up. I'm not going to show it to you. It got stitches from right here, goes right around, right on down to the end there. Okay? So, yeah, it's only been a couple days, but I'll tell you, it really looks like it's healing well. Okay? So, Grumpy Hawk. We'll get carving on him here in a second. I see Rich over there at Choose Your Own Path has survived ended up being a 5-way bypass. So it ended up being a lot worse than what he thought it was. He's posted a video on his YouTube channel, just Choose Your Own Path. So he survived. Godspeed, Rich. Hope you recover well. Alright, on to the next thing on our list. The hangry bird. So, what are we going to use to carve him with? Alright, let's start out with, I started out with a piece of wood, 3 by 3 square, by 7 inches long. Okay, this is balsa wood. Right, balsa wood. Very soft, very finicky, very fuzzy. So, yeah, I should have used a piece of that basswood I got from Ben. But a while ago, last year, I had a subscriber gift me like 5 or 6 pieces of balsa wood. I'm down to the last. This will be a balsa wood, which is 3 by 3 by, get out the ruler, 3 by 3 by 12. And since I've never carved one of these birds before, I figured, well, if you're going to waste a piece of wood, it might as well be a piece of balsa wood. Balsa wood. Yep. Okay, we have our Dremel 4000 with the flex shaft with a dull kutzall extreme burr. Now, kutzall extreme burrs really tear this wood up. Okay, so for a backup burr, I'm going to go ahead and put a kutzall coarse, not extreme, coarse. Coarse is the silver burrs. Okay, in the micro carver. In case this tears it up too much, we can switch right on over to this one, alright? Switch over to this one right here. Kutzall coarse original. Alright. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and start carving this guy, alright? Alright. Alright, Spike? Alright. Fire up the noise. Alright, guys. Here we go with the dreaded voiceover. I know how much you love to hear me talk. Not. Alright, so we have the kutzall extreme burr in the Dremel 4000 with a flex cable. And we're shaping up the tree part of this little hawk. This grumpy hawk. And we're running about 2 times the speed, I think. Otherwise, this video would be an hour long. It's bad enough. It's looks like 21 minutes and 7 seconds. Oh man, I got to talk for 21 minutes and 7 seconds. Oh, maybe I can get the shop inspector to talk for me. Anyway, we're gonna. This dull kutzall extreme burr seems to be working pretty well with the balsa wood. I know when they're sharp and new, oh boy, it's like throwing it's ridiculous. It's like throwing I don't even have an example. It's like throwing a marshmallow in a blender. There you go. Marshmallow in a blender. That's how quick it chews this up. But this dull one seems to be working pretty good. I'm impressed with the dull burr. I think I found something. Get back here. My vacuum nozzle keeps wanting to run away. I think I finally found something this dull kutzall burr is good for. We do have a new one, but we're holding off on it until we really need it. Plus, I stand less of a chance cutting myself with this dull one than I do a sharp one. I know how much of a scrape job you get from a sharp one. And we're going to try staying away from that. We got enough injured body parts right now. We're just going to shape this tree up here. Evil Rick. No, it had nothing to do with a bloodlust. It had everything to do with not paying attention to the apple that I was cutting. Who gets hurt cutting an apple? Just CARVEROB, that's who. All right, so, yep, we're going to shape this up. We'll be bouncing between kutzall burrs. We'll bounce between this extreme, the coarse, and the fine. The coarse is the silver burr, the fine is the gold burr. And I'll swap them back and forth in the micro motor, just so everybody knows. I should probably set the other Dremel up with one too. Maybe the coarse taper burr. Once we get further into the face, we'll be using smaller and smaller burrs, as you shall see in part 2. So get ready for part 2, guys. That's probably where all the excitement's going to happen, is when we get into carving the face of the grumpy hawk or the hangry hawk. It has 2 different names in the book. I like grumpy hawk better than hangry hawk. That's what we should carve, an angry... You know, this guy kind of reminds me of one of them Angry Birds that you see on the game, Angry Birds. Not sponsored by Angry Birds. Okay. Yeah, I haven't been getting my YouTube notifications for a while now. I think I'm going to have to unsubscribe to everybody I'm subscribed to, then resubscribe and see if I can fix it that way, because I've tried everything I can think of to get my notifications to work. Matter of fact, today Jordy was live, and Jordy over there at Carving Fusion was live carving a wood spirit shelf. Wood spirit shelf. And just happened to be, I came in the house for a minute, and there it was. I went to, you know, I went to my I'm always checking my YouTube. And I went to my YouTube, and under my subscriptions, I always check for Jordy, and there he was live. So I got to spend a couple, but unfortunately it was right towards the end of his live feed, so I did get to talk to Anna and Claire, Spike, and Evil Rick and those guys, and Luann and Larry Dibbs. Larry Dibbs, heck of an artist. Gotta love Larry's work. And yeah, there was actually, for an unnotified midday live chat, there was like 65 people in there. So got to talk to a lot of the people that are hanging out there. Harley Honk. I already said Evil Rick. Evil Rick's always there. Spike's always there. They must be getting their notifications, because I certainly have not. And yes, before I get a bevy of comments saying, "Do you have your bell turned on, Rob?" Yes, I have the bell turned on, guys. I've even turned it off, turned it on, turned it off, turned it on. And to no avail, it has not helped. So we are shaping the wing now. One of the wings. These wings have to come down a long ways, so got a lot of wood to remove here. The whole trick with this grumpy hawk is trying to keep them symmetrical, because the pattern that I cut this out with on the bandsaw is not symmetrical. I think the next time I do this, I'll fold the pattern in half and cut it in half and just use two of the same halves, so that I know, then you'll have two branches sticking off of the tree trunk. No, you just don't put that in there. And do a flip-flop so I can keep the pattern more symmetrical. Because the one in the book, after I cut it out with the bandsaw, now I know my bandsaw blade's square because I always check it before I start cutting. I got a small 2-inch machinist square that I put on a table, and I put it up against my blade to make sure my blade is square to my table. And I check the backside to make sure that the blade doesn't kick forward. There's a little information for you, Claire. I know you just got a brand new bandsaw, and you already broke your brand new blade. Hey, don't worry, it happens. I don't know how many adjustments on your saw, but like my table tilts on mine, you might want to get yourself a little block of wood that you know is square so you can set it on your table and put it against the side of your bandsaw blade. Okay, that will let you know that your table is square to your bandsaw blade. Even if it's slightly off zero, they're not perfect from the factory. I'm here to tell you. And that will tell you that if your bandsaw blade is square to your table. If it's not, that can cause some binding and snap your blade pretty quick. Little tip for you. You probably already know that. Claire seems like the type of person that would read all the instructions, unlike just CARVEROB. Some of us are born to learn by accident. Believe me, I've had a lot of learning experience in my life. A lot of learning experience. Yes, that means a lot of accidents. I am getting better, though. I am reading the books more and more. Okay, so now we're shaping the head on the Grumpy Hawk. And we're using that. We've changed over to the kutzall. Okay, I'm too late. We're getting rid of that burr already. Now we're going to the fine. The kutzall. Stop talking, Rob. Pay attention to what you're doing. We've changed over to the fine. The fine kutzall flame burr. This is the kutzall original fine burr. You're only supposed to run this at 20,000 RPM. So for this little high-speed carver, that would be half speed, because this one is 46,000 RPM. I believe our Dremel cuts at 30,000 RPM, and my big Dremel cuts at 28,000 RPM. That's one of the faster Dremels for an industrial style. Okay, so now we're going to check this bird out. See if he's matching our paper here. Put a center line in. Looks like he's pretty close to me. Yep. Draw the center lines in. Okay, yeah, try to keep the sides of your head symmetrical if you guys are following along here. And we're going to draw that beak in too. There goes my vacuum cleaner hose. It's sneaking away again, guys. It's sneaking away again. See it? I don't know why it doesn't want to hang out with me. It sucks. I suck. There you go. We should be good buddies hanging out. But no, it keeps running away. So there we're cutting the wing in a little deeper, getting rid of some of that radius on the side of the wing. So when we set up to do our feathers, they won't be sticking out like a bent snake. Oops, sorry about that. A bent snake. We'll get them shaped up here. And it's this, anything with wood carving is all about the shaping and trying to match what you're shaping, whether it be in your mind or a pattern or whatever. See, I'm flipping through the book as I'm doing this. As you're carving, if you don't have a plan in your head, but you have a book, follow along with the book, guys. Because I probably would have whacked this nose right off They're the beak. I would have messed it up by making it too skinny. Apparently the beak on this bird is almost as wide as his head. I guess that's how you give him that frumpy, grumpy look. So I just wanted to make sure from the center line that my angles are the same. Okay. And from the center line out, it's about an inch each way. So the beak is 2 inches wide. That's a pretty wide beak. Even for a real bird, that's exceptionally wide. I just watched Ryan cook. Now we're just kind of blocking the beak in. Just kind of we're cutting it in so it has a home. So we don't accidentally remove too much wood out of there. Anyway, back to Ryan Cook. I just seen him carve a salmon with his chainsaw. And as soon as this weather breaks, I got my carving saw fixed. So we're going to be carving a salmon like Ryan cooks. I want to hang them on the wall, or maybe I'll hang them outside and just put welcome on them. Or maybe I'll carve a bear to hold the salmon that says welcome. I don't know. We'll figure that out. So now we're rounding over the sides of the head a little bit. We still have our pumpkin head or snowman head that looks like Stanley. Stanley from Laurel and Hardy. Okay. So he's still sitting in the jaw horse out there and got a big pile of snow on top of his head right now. So I'm trying to work that beak, work the head back. I was thinking the eyes were going to be kind of flat, but they're not. So we got to round this head over a little bit. Get in there and you see how soft this wood is? This is a fine, original fine, kutzall original fine. And you can see how it's just shearing that wood right off from the head there. So it looks like the eyes in the book are kind of round over towards the side of the head. So I'm rounding the face back a little bit. And you've seen our picture earlier here of the side view of the hawk, the grumpy hawk. And his head the back of his head kind of rolls into the back of his feathers. I mean, we're a long ways away from him, right? So we'll undercut these wings a little bit more here. And we're going to cut that tail in. Now, this wood is weird because on one side of the wood, it's really, really soft like a sponge. And on the other side, it's pretty hard, more like basswood. Now, I wish the whole thing was like that. But, so you got to be careful when you're carving your wood, guys, because you're going to have soft spots and hard spots in it. And you're going to learn the hard way that you hit a soft spot and that bitch is going to dive in there on you. So I'm just going to use a light touch. And you can see we're back to using that Kutzall Extreme burr with the dull flame burr in it. And it's ripping through this stuff like a brand new burr would on basswood. Okay, it's just chomping it. It's like, I'm hungry and it's feeding time. We're undercutting the tail. We got to thin that tail out a little bit. Pushing up underneath his butt. This would have been a good spot to use the taper burr. To get a sharper line up underneath there. But hey, I'm leaving it big so I can always come back and clean it up, right? Now he's just kind of hunkered down on top of this stump. So we're just, we got to bring the top of that stump down and kind of separate him from the stump. Give him a little difference there. Now we can really do that if we get in there with the SCM high-speed air tool. Uses them little tiny burrs. And we'll be using that. You'll be seeing that coming up here as we're doing the high detail on this guy. For all of his feathers, we will be using that SCM high-speed air tool. Get all the dust off of me here. And that's it. All right, guys. That's it for this exciting episode come back for part 2. Now that's 4, Rob. 2. Come back for part 2 when we get into doing the face. All right, how close are we? Well, let's see. Here's a book. Yeah, that looks pretty close. And yeah, okay, yep. I think we're getting there. All right, so yeah, come back for part 2. Share, subscribe, like, all that awesome stuff you guys do so well. Share, subscribe, like. Make sure you hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. Give me a thumbs up. It really helps. You wouldn't know how much it helps. It puts us up and higher in the algorithm deal, and it gets us on into the mainstream so everybody can watch. Right? All right. So we'll catch you on the next one. Be awesome, guys. Carve something awesome. Stay awesome. And we will catch you on the next one. All right? Bye-bye.